Good morning. You're listening to Good Medicine, and I'm getting tipsy today with Mark Hewlett.
Thank you.
Special
I'm
guest.
right there with you. Thanks for the coffee, Holly.
You're
Rock
welcome.
Star.
You know what? It's hard not to love you. I'm going to tell you right now, the first time I met you, I just think you've got an incredible personality. You're inspiring, and I'm glad you're here with me this morning because I kind of had a rough morning.
It's hard. For me, it's impossible not to love you. It's impossible.
Thank
How's it
you.
going? Why'd you have a rough morning? Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, this is where I'm not really sure how vulnerable to be, but I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Yes, please be vulnerable. I love vulnerability.
I'm going to do it because I think that, and that's why I do this program, Good Medicine.
Do you want your rock?
I'm going to need my rock.
Okay. Thank you for letting me feel your rock. It was awesome.
No problem. Only special people.
Thank you.
You know, this has been a difficult week for me, and I'm already feeling the emotions. It's been a full moon week. It's just the seasons. Everything's changing, and the first was the 7th anniversary of my mother's death. So
Okay,
7 years
that's
my mom's
heavy.
been gone. That's heavy. I mean,
Yeah, it's heavy.
and every year I use the challenge to love life more,
Yeah.
my friends more, meeting great people that come into my life to just love. Be happy, be healthy, wealthy, wise, and then share that with others. That's what this program is about. But this week I took the day off to just
On
hang
the
with
first.
friends. Yeah, hang with friends, go to lunch, shop a little, something my mom and I love to do. And I also went and visited a friend of mine's grandmother who's in a nursing home. That's a
Okay.
little difficult, right?
Yes.
Took her a little smoothie. It had sugar in it, by
Did
the way.
it? Oh,
Okay.
God. We're going to talk about that.
And so, I just kind of took that time to myself. And that particular day, I got my mammogram this year, and I do every year, as we are supposed to. Every woman, and I believe it's 35. I just say at 35, go. I say at 30, go. Just start going and get a mammogram every year. Do it.
Do you do the same time every year, or
You should.
is that okay?
You should, but this particular year, oh my gosh, did I break it in? This particular year, I kept putting it off and putting it off. Okay. And it's a subconscious thing. I'm not really sure, but I just, here's my schedule. It's a little nutty. And so there's all kinds of excuses and things like that. I don't like excuses. Do you?
No, you can't have excuses.
I don't like excuses. Well, this year I went ahead and went up to my mammogram, and then on that particular day, on the 1st, which is kind of a day that's full of all kinds of memories and emotions.
Yes,
anyway,
emotions, yeah.
I was having a great day, and I got a call that my mammogram was abnormal. And so I just decided, well, first of all, I'm going to go ahead and feel the emotions. I'm not going to pretend like they're not there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and feel it.
You deny it immediately, that's what happens first off. So it's good to let it flow in and deal with it right there and there.
I dealt with it. I'm not really sure what I did. I might have had chocolate cake. I'm not sure.
Nothing wrong with that. I won't hold it against you yet.
I went and I spent time with my kids. I kissed them a little more. I loved them a little more. I was a little more thoughtful about my life and what it means and the purpose. Do you ever get that gift of having that time to analyze your life? It's a gift.
I've got to jump in here. Have you ever listened to Brendan Burchard?
No.
Okay, he's like a Tony Robbins.
Okay, I'm down.
He had this life-changing moment. We had this car accident, and he's a big speaker now. He does this thing called Experts Academy. And if you've got something to say in life, he tells you, how to write a book, etc., etc. So I've been studying this guy, and he had a car accident, and his whole agenda, and he's a pretty well-known guy, started from his car accident and him asking the 3 questions when he was on his deathbed, literally. Did I live? Did I learn? Did I love? And that being the most prolific was the did I love question. So I think just what you brought up then about things are when you have that reflective moment and you're doing what you did, it's important to know that it's not just, life isn't just get up, do your thing, go to bed. It's about living those moments and experiencing those moments and growing from them
to the fullest. I think I've kind of had this feeling even this morning. I was doing a little research on you because I do that with most of my guests. And sometimes I just go spot on and let's just have a conversation.
Sure.
But
what'd you find out?
With you, I found a little bit of information, which is interesting. But while I was doing my information, I found this American Indian lady, and she's pretty awesome. Her name is Dr. Cloud. As a matter of fact, she was a contestant on Survivor.
Was she?
She was a contestant on Survivor.
Which one? Like what year was she?
I don't know. I don't watch
I
television.
auditioned for Survivor, the first one, I auditioned for the very first Survivor, and I didn't have a green card, so they said I couldn't do it. Yeah.
No can.
No, sorry, they didn't. No, it wasn't that. If you had a green card, you weren't allowed to do it, but you had to be an American citizen. You had to have a passport. And there was like 3 people at the audition, and then of course, like the following year, there was like 50,000 at the audition. So
I think I watched the first year. You know, I really have made a habit in my entire life of not watching television. So
yeah,
I
don't watch TV either at all.
Really?
Yeah.
See, so when I did some, research on you,
Yes.
I noticed that you were on Fear Factor, and you were the grand champion, which I say,
thank you.
Heck
Thanks,
yeah.
Hal.
I guess you nailed it. I guess you nailed it. Huh?
I did. There was a bit of luck involved, but yeah, a little bit of craziness, but yeah, I nailed it.
Well, I was looking at some correlations because this lady, who I'm not sure where she placed on Survivor, but she did some blogging at the time. She's written several books, and I love the fact that she's from Oklahoma, because so am I.
She's from Oklahoma?
Yeah,
Nice.
she's an Indian, so am I.
Love it.
So, but she had some amazing things. She said, what you invest in is what your life is really about. What you invest in every single day. What are you paying every day with your attention?
Yeah.
Is it that cell phone? Is it your social media? Is it your body? Is it your car, your hair, is it your friends? Is it your social life? Is it you? I mean,
it's like your subconscious draw almost, to what you're interested in, even when you're not doing anything.
Absolutely.
Like
and she
So what is her thing?
She basically said your presentation, your physical fitness, and what comes out of your mouth and how you relate to people is saying what you invest in every day and how you are, whether you're fit, whether you're emotionally stable, spiritually, physically, because that's my approach as a therapist, is a holistic approach, physical, mental, social, and spiritual level. And how you be, how you are, how you resonate with other people says a lot about what's going on inside. And so she was pretty amazing. Some of the things that she said, it's pretty dogmatic. She said, if I go in and I listen to a sermon and you're not fit, I'm going to wonder about what's going on with you spiritually. I mean, she said it, I didn't say that, but I mean, it kind of makes you think. What do you think about that?
Well, first off, I get goosebumps when I think about the American Indian culture, because I'm from Africa. Okay, I'm born and raised 4 generations. I speak the language fluently, and I think people often ask me, and the 2 most prolific times when I've looked at someone's eyes and I've seen absolute 100% happiness, both those times were in Africa. And someone who I had a meat business, and I used to go out into the bush for 5 days and go and buy cattle from subsistence farmers, okay, where they've lived the same way for 2,000, 5,000, 20,000 years. Tend the crops, tend the cattle. It's all subsistence. They grow what they need, and they farm the cattle. And there's a procedure when you go in to buy cattle. You go in. You don't meet the chief yet. You'll go and you'll meet the whole family. You'll be taken. You'll be seated down. They'll bring a pail of water. You wash your hands. Chief will come in. You don't discuss any business at that point. It's all very, very cordial. And I'll never forget, we're sitting there, we had our meal, and we went out to the lands, and the sun was like just setting. And he didn't say anything, this guy, Moses. He just sort of, he looked over at me, and I looked over at him, and I saw the cattle grazing in the background. And he just looked at me and he just smiled. And it was in the middle of the African bush, like 200 miles from the nearest town. And I was like, that's happiness right there.
That's
it's nothing to do with, with how much money you have, or what you can buy, and all that sort of stuff. It was just quintessentially, he just felt I could see it in his eyes. He was fulfilled. And that for me, when I went to the western part of the Grand Canyon, and there's this guy, and my Spanish name, all the Spanish people in America call me, they call me Buffalo, okay, because I'm from Africa. And then they couldn't believe I was white, so they call me Buffalo Blanco. Now, I went to the west part of the Grand Canyon, and there's this guy there. He did an album. It's called The White Buffalo, this music. And let me tell you, it is just mind-blowing. It's just, just taps right into your soul.
Is it American Indian, like flute and
everything?
Drum?
Yeah. And this girl's dancing, and I the same feeling I get in Africa sometimes, I had it right there when I was listening to this guy play and his daughter dancing. And it's that beautiful spirituality and connection to the land, which is so prolific in Africa, and which I think we've lost a kind of sense of that, with the growing of industry and people here, and now there's that long touch to sort of realign with that. with the food and all that sort of thing.
Well, it's interesting because I was trying to make a correlation. I was trying to make a correlation of people like yourself that are fearless and fun. And for her, one of her biggest things in life is fun. She's a slave to fun. She has to have fun. She believes that it's healing. Yeah. And she was, I grew up in Oklahoma where we went outside barefooted every day. Yeah, every day, we were outside.
Corn.
Yes.
Potato fields.
Every kind of field. Yeah. And we played outside until the sun went down in the sun, rain, snow.
No TV.
No TV. Yeah. We didn't. Well, we watched a little TV when we were growing up, but
we watched it like once a week in Africa.
We watched MTV.
Yeah. We watched Dallas.
I watched Dallas too.
Dallas,
I like JR.
JR and what was the other one? Bold and Beautiful. Yeah, we had to watch that.
We watched that too. Right. I'm not going to lie. But I did kind of wean off of television after a while. But I think the correlation for me is people who are fearless and people who are survivors. And one of the things that she said that really resonates with me, she had to dig in. So I think all of us have it, this superior human being that we are. We all have it.
Yes.
And I think being outside and being with nature and being a little closer to the elements, I think can help you to see some of the other beauty. Perhaps. Yeah. But don't you think that everyone has that within them to be a survivor, to be a Fear Factor winner, to be 100%. On F45?
100%. And just going back to what you said, I think just a correlation between all those things. I think, we're put on earth. It's, a lot of moving society into the structure it is now in towns and this sort of development in towns and away from nature. Don't forget when we were, a million years ago, whatever it was, when we were running around here, you're in nature like 100% of the time. And people in Africa are still like that. And that's what's so beautiful to see and to be in that. Because that there's your light. That shows you what that is. And in Africa, they walk everywhere and everyone's in good shape. I don't think it's our nature to be. I think it's our nature to be good shape because in essence, I think what you find now is like we've discussed is if you make your body strong, in essence that's going to make your mind strong. And if you've got a strong mind, then you're able to give yourself the confidence to say, yes, if I went into the gym every day, I busted my ass. I did what they said. I did the repetitions. I pushed through the barrier. When I wanted to stop, I didn't stop. So what do all those lessons tell you? Those lessons tell you, so the next time you're about to do a speech at a wedding and you're getting scared, you're like, no, I got this, It gives you that added level of the can do. And in the world we live in, wanting to be, financially free and all these different things that get thrown at us, you need to have everything you can within yourself to be able to attack those, those kind of things. So, it's in my mind, I grew up playing sport. I've always been fit and healthy, and I've always driven, to be that. Only because of the feeling it gave me inside that I can accomplish, I can do things. And I had my biggest pitfall was I got diagnosed with diabetes, type 1 diabetes in 2000. I was 24, and I'd lived this outgoing gregarious life, and then suddenly I was stuck with something where I was injecting insulin 4 times a day, and I was like, crikey. I had it as a total it was like a bomb in my life. I was like, wow, everything's pretty much changed. So that was my whole precursor to do Fear Factor, was to go and audition for the show, to get on there, to prove to myself that I was still capable of, of jumping in that barrier, the barrier where you're standing on the river's edge and you're like, okay, am I going to jump in or not? Am I going to swim to the other side if there's a crocodile in there? That's a big push mentally you have to make to commit to that level. And my, I've got this little thing that I do in my head. It's like, I always, when I'm ever in a situation where I'm feeling scared or anything like that, I've got it's music for one, but two, I've got a great imagery which I use, which is kind of, I use if you're going back to the Greek days, you're standing there with your sword and you've never picked up a sword in your life, and there's someone coming at you, to kill you. What are you going to do? You've got that fear on you. You got to pick up the sword and you got to defend yourself. But a lot of people don't know that situation because they've never been faced with such dilemma. So in essence, if you haven't been faced with that and you want to just, make amends like today, get a strong body, because a strong body in essence is going to give you a strong mind. A strong mind is going to help you make those decisions, those difficult decisions, and decisions which you like, I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it now.
So it was almost like it was a blessing for you to have
total blessing.
Well, some of the things that you said that resonate with me is, as far as a unknown in my life with a mammogram that is abnormal. There's a couple things that you can do. I think one of the first things that most people fall in on, and I know that we all do, is fear. And I think fear cripples us. It cripples us. And one thing that I don't want to do is I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared, but I don't like being emotional either. It's not my favorite thing to do, although I tell people all the time, cry if you want to cry. Go ahead. You can cry in front of me. Please do. It's so healing. And so I find that having to be vulnerable and emotional it's a little difficult, but it's not impossible. And I think it will help other people to know that I think fear, it only takes 15 seconds of courage to get through and just keep on moving. So there's one point today I was a little frightened, and I thought, I'm going to just walk in with my head strong. I'm going to fake it till I make it. I'm going to hold my shoulders back, and I'm going to come in high. And
there's your commitment level right there. You see,
I'm going to keep going.
Yes.
I'm going to keep going. And I asked my friends for prayer. I was vulnerable with people.
Good.
And even putting this out here too. This is going to be a journey that I'm going to share. I'm not going to isolate. I'm not going to get scared. I'm not going to be in darkness with it. I'm going to just be out in the light. And one part that just so happened to be, it's kind of coincidental, but it's serendipitous at the same time, is that you gave me a challenge.
Yes.
And I like challenges, and I'm really pretty competitive, fierce competitive. I have a twin sister. I think that's where it comes from.
Good.
So I have this competitive spirit, and I want to encourage other people to do the competition with me, to do this challenge with me. All my closest friends, I've already called them all.
Perfect.
Okay. And the first part of the challenge was I wanted them to take a before picture.
Yes. We have to do that 9-week challenge.
I've already asked them, can we just not? Can we just skip that? However, I started this yesterday. So I've been starting this whole journey already that I just can't be afraid. I can't be in darkness. I have to just put it out there. I started the first journey, and I took a picture. And the interesting thing about my before pictures is that I think our self-concept, our body concepts are very skewed. We see and feel completely different than other people see us.
Yes.
And so the picture for me was step one, and it was very freeing. And as a matter of fact, it made my day. I felt really good.
You feel good about doing that and following through on it.
Yes, and I felt good about that call even. The call just kind of didn't even feel as bad to me, because I thought, you know what? If I'm healthy and my body is healthy and I keep feeding myself with good food and I exercise and I take care of my mind, body, and soul, then virus, bacteria, cancer, all those things, they don't want to live in a healthy, clean body.
Correct.
So with that, we're going to take a break. You guys are listening to Good Medicine, and we're going to share this challenge, and you guys are going to do it with me, because I'm not going to do this alone. I'm going to do it with my fans and my friends and my family and people that love me and people that don't even know me and people that love you and people that are with you with F45. I'm with Mark Hewlett. You are listening to Good Medicine. I'm Holly. Stay with us.
Yes.
You're listening to Good Medicine. I'm Holly, and if you want to call in, I have a really... I don't like the word cool for you. I have an awesome guest. It's Mark Hewlett, and he is with F45 Training, and our number is 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. If you have any questions about physical fitness, and how many times have we heard over and over, eat your vegetables and exercise, and you'll be fit as a fiddle. You'll be healthy, happy, wise, and your life will be fabulous.
Yes, nothing new.
We've heard this over and over. I'm here to say that I think there's a psychology behind fitness.
Huge. Psychology is one of the main parts of it.
Okay.
I think. Sure. Where do we start? I mean, even going through, let's say you're doing, someone tells you, okay, so, or you're on your own and you got to do 10 repetitions, or you want to do 10 press ups. So you get down the ground, you do 3, you're like, oh my God, I'm done. So you go down on your knees and you do like another 2, and then you stop at 8. It's like, why don't you do 10?
Because we didn't have you to tell us to continue?
Yeah, but that's a good point. Okay, so the psychology is blended. This is my perspective. The psychology is blended with the motivation and inspiration. That's what you need to attain goals. Anyone who's, if you look at any great athlete, they've got people that push them and help them to achieve what they need to achieve. You can do so much on your own, but to get to where you need to go, you got to have your cheerers.
You have to have your therapist.
You have to
have a trainer. And, you know, I won't even say not only great athletes, great people. Oprah cannot do it herself. She has a team of people helping her.
Yes.
Tony Robbins probably doesn't do it himself. He probably has people who inspire him to keep on going. And I don't think, no man is an island. I don't think, and even in the psychological world, if you're suffering with dis-ease, diagnosis, drugs and alcohol, I don't believe that you can go through that journey alone. No. I feel like you have to have a team. And there might be a case where you cut all the bridges in your life and all the people out.
Yes.
I think that there's always a new day to meet new people.
100%.
Inspiring people.
Yeah,
everywhere you go.
It's like anything. It's, you know, you look in the mirror one day, let's say you're doing a fitness program, and then, or let's say you have anorexia, and every day you look in the mirror, you think that you think you're overweight. But you got skin and bones. So ultimately, you don't really know that. So if you're in a situation, you can't really tell. You need someone else to tell you. You know, that's why there's people that are, you know, alcoholics. They'll get, what do you call it, when they come in and do a
psychological evaluation.
Yeah, or they jump in and they call it like whatever they call it, like they stop. Okay, you got to stop drinking. Someone comes in and stops that, like a friend. But you don't know that you got a problem.
Right, and usually it doesn't go well when you say you need to stop that. It doesn't go well with humans.
It's called what do you call it?
Intervention.
Yeah, that's the one. Right. Yeah, because I know a couple people that had them, and then they freak out. But then what? How are they 2 years down the road? They're blessing everyone that ever did the intervention.
The gift of honesty. Well, and I think too, maybe for some reason we always think that it's going to be worse than it really is, and especially even if you're talking about training, taking the picture. Oh gosh, I don't want to take that picture. I don't want to take that picture. It's a bathing suit. Okay, take your picture. I think we are thinking that it's going to be awful. This is going to be, and I think when you think that way, this is going to be awful. This is negative. This is going to be too much. I'm scared. I'm fearful. I don't think I'm going to like what I see. The truth is, you might be surprised. You might be pleasantly surprised. You might also have someone to give you the gift of honesty. I know for me, I went to a doctor and he did an analysis of my blood.
Yes.
And he told me all the different things that were going on.
Yeah.
Just too much sugar. There's not enough circulation. And he basically said it's not a matter of if, but you will get cancer if your body continues, if you continue to live like this. Yeah. He gave me the gift of honesty because since that time, I'm very conscientious about what I eat, exercise, drinking water, putting good things in my body, vitamins, essential oils, my self-care, healing.
I love that.
It's all about healing for me because I have 5 children. And not on my watch am I going to get sick.
It's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. It's a lot, but it's my legacy on this planet. And if I am not healthy, if I don't go ahead and get that picture and be open to, you know, I really don't think you guys will go in there and torture people and, oh man, look at that belly, look at that butt. I don't think it's going to be like that. Look,
we've got girls that are, you know, really overweight. We've got people that have never exercised before. They want to, you know, start doing their fitness stuff. And, you know, there's beautiful stories. We've just started the 9-week challenge, but prior to that, I mean, it's so heartwarming. And this is what I just love about it because, you know, one girl come in and she's just like, you know, she said, Mark, you know, I grew up in a terrible, terrible way with my parents. I was never allowed to do anything. I feel very closed off and thing. And she came into the gym and she was very quiet. You know, for the first like 3 weeks, she was just very quiet. And I could sense something was like that. So you got to be very, you know, customized to what people are putting out and receptive to it, and then act accordingly. You can't treat everyone the same. You can't say, you know, give me 20, go to everybody. It's just not the way. But if you've got someone in there pushing that hard, then you can do it. But someone who's like that, quiet, you know, just a little bit of encouragement, a little bit. And she came up to me and she said, Mark, she said, would you mind, could you do me like a 30-second, you know, motivational thing? She said, I've never been able to do that exercise, and you really, you know, you've helped me do it. So I mean, that's just it's little things like that, which is now it's shown her it's okay to push through, and it's okay, and she's capable of doing what she's got in her mind to do, but she's too scared to do it.
Because maybe she didn't think she was capable. But if you thought you were capable, and you ask for help, and that person who you ask for help told you, you are superior being,
yes,
you are healthy,
yes,
you are wealthy, you are wise, you can do it.
Yes, 100%.
Because I know with studies with children,
yeah,
if a teacher says, you know what, this, I don't know if you had this in your classrooms, but when we had classrooms, we would have a few different groups on a few different levels. And so if you're in the highest level, what was really interesting is one day you could have been in the lowest level, but when you got to the highest level, their performance with their sight words doubled. Because they thought all of a sudden, wow, I'm in the high group here,
wow,
right? So it's amazing how when you have self-concept that is, well, and how many of us have a really great healthy self-concept. They don't teach that in schools and churches, or, you know, they do on radio, but, you know, they don't really teach it everywhere that we go. And so if you could actually start believing in yourself and investing in yourself and loving yourself, that's a huge concept. So it takes love to push yourself. And that was a question I had for you.
Yes.
Pushing, and by the way, I want to get your information. I'm going to get to this question.
Sure.
You guys are at Boca Park, 1000
Correct.
South Rampart, 60.
Correct.
I can't read your handwriting. Sorry.
Sorry, bad handwriting.
61, number 12.
No, it's
Rampart Boulevard.
Rampart Boulevard. Yeah, the corner of Rampart and Charleston.
My handwriting is a little atrocious as well. See
Sorry.
that? It's personality.
I used to draw in rocks. There you go.
I see.
Caveman paintings. That was me.
My teacher in high school probably would not agree with this, because I said, you know, when you write really sloppy, it means you're very intelligent. She goes, well, what about clarity? I'm like, well, I thought you could read that.
Then I'm going to be super intelligent. I'm going to be alien being the way I write.
Me too. So
okay,
listen,
cool.
You guys can call Mark at 702-518-3332, 702-518-3332, and he's going to let you see the schedule. You're going to make a time to go and get training. But my question for you is this. Is it possible that you can go from not exercising at all, not having a lot of health, and making the decision and go in there, do you think, and begin to see results immediately? Are you going to need to take a lot? Is it start with your head? Is it going to take a lot of encouragement? How do you get the people encouraged to get in there and go if they don't have that knowledge that what I'm doing is investing in myself?
It's interesting. That's a very good question. I think right now what we've noticed by the F45 concept, that's why I was such a prolific person to bring this concept to America. It's the fastest growing fitness franchise in the world. There's over 220 locations presently. There's 6 open in America. There's 1 opening in Santa Monica in 2 weeks. There's another 15 opening around the US. And you got to look at it this way. I went to Australia through, you know, someone who'd given me a tip about this business, and I went down there and I was like, wow, it's 5:15 in the morning, and the class is full. Goes for 45 minutes. 6 o'clock, the class was full. I'm like, okay, why are these people showing up here? And it wasn't just once. Why are they showing up here every single day and doing this? One, I think, getting back to it, yes, they're achieving results. So their bodies were changing. There's people that have lost a lot of weight with F45. Not only lost a lot of weight, but in essence, the F45 shape is lean and mean. It's not, you know, big beefcake. It's none of that stuff. It's just a lean, mean body. Low body fat, good muscular, you know, vehicular, and a great anaerobic and aerobic fitness. So in essence, people were achieving the results. I think another big thing, which we can get back to on the love side, is that, like, already I've seen with our group, we've only been open 7 weeks. Everyone, it's the tag mark, the line for the business is team training, life changing. Okay, and there's been a big push for this, but there's other group fitness facilities that don't. We even more so. So people that come into class, if we introduce everyone to each other, they all know who they're working out with. And already I see, so one girl comes in the morning, the other girl shows up because they know that the other one's going to show up. So it's kind of like, it just breeds this sort of, this family atmosphere where, you know, your person's going to show up and you're going to freaking sweat bullocks together that morning. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to do it. So there, the commitment level already comes, because in your mind, it's not you join the gym and, you go the first day, you're all excited. And the next day, like, I don't want to get up tomorrow. I'm just overslept my alarm. There's no one making you go to the gym. And we're not forcing people to come to the gym either. We're doing a 2-week, we got a 2-week special where you come in and just for free and just do the whole session for 2 weeks to see how you feel. But in essence, what I've noticed, a good point in subject, the one studio in Australia, which was one of the first ones that opened in Surrey Hills, Sydney, they have 95% of their original sign-ups still going to their gym.
That's a really great
attrition rate of 5, and I think that 5% is probably people that have moved away.
Or died.
Yes.
We always have to have
potential.
We are going to take a small break, and when we come back, my question is, do you have to? As a matter of fact, on Facebook, I was even talking about how you have to sweat it out.
Yes.
You have to push. If you don't sweat, you're not going to see the achievements. Do you have to sweat? And I'm thinking, every single solitary day, do you have to sweat it out? Every day?
We'll come back with the sweat questions.
Sweat question. I don't like to sweat. Glimmer is okay.
Don't sweat it.
Just follow me, 'cause we need a little controversy, 'cause it feels so empty without me. I say this.
We taught you singing.
I love Eminem.
Mark Hewlett.
Hello.
F45 training, functional 45. We're talking about exercise training and group training, so you don't have to do it alone.
Yes.
We need things to be easy for us. You have to step in, and somebody's going to meet you there.
Yes.
You're going to have some accountability. You don't want
Correct.
to go it alone. There's a little fear factor in
Yes.
going, but we want to overcome that, and just it has to be kind of easy.
And fun, which
And
you brought up. So a lot of our people, on a Saturday, we have a live DJ. They're dancing.
Oh, that's cool.
The people are dancing around. It's very fun, and it's more than a group setting. It's like we call it like a group personalized training, because everyone gets one-on-one, to make sure they're doing the thing right, to get pushed, to get motivated. There was one girl. I'll give you another example. Samantha Benson. She was one of our first persons to join the gym.
Go
And
Samantha!
Sam rocks. Let me tell you. And she'd never done a pull-up in her life ever. So we got these bands, right, that help you with pull-ups, and she put a thing on Facebook the other day. Then she did 6. Okay, she's only been going there, which was one of our first, so maybe like 5 weeks. And you can just see the excitement in her. And someone else commented on, "Wow, your arms are, you're looking buff. What are you doing?"
Nice guns, girl.
Do you know what I'm saying? So, and she's a cirque performer. So just to see her and how excited she is with what she's able to do, it's that also. That's it. We're talking about the effects. The effects of exercise is when you see that you're doing something and you're getting a result from it. It's like investing money. You invest money and you see a return, you're happy.
But it's going to cost you something. You might have to sweat. You might have to work hard. And it might be a little intimidating. If I know that Cirque du Soleil girls that are, dancers, or people who've been on Fear Factor, who, I don't know if you ate worms or what, but...
cockroaches, milk to goat with my mouth.
A cicada?
Earthworms. Yeah, kind of crazy.
So, that's kind of, so going in there and with kettlebells, you might be a little hardier of a person, have more of a sharper mindset, or might have that psychology a little further down. That would be pretty common intimidation, don't you think?
Yes and no. Actually, I'd rather say no. There was a girl came in yesterday, and she came back today. Her name's Kelly. She's 65. And
nice going, Kelly.
Kel came in and...
hold on. You will get a pet name, too, if you come in. Kel.
Yes.
Way to go, Kel.
Kel Bell, she rocked in this. Yesterday she started, and I said, well, what exercise do you do? Have you done? And she says, well, I've done circuit training. So I said, okay, well, be careful, because this is different. Because you're doing 40, we're doing 35 seconds on today, 10-second rest. There's Tabata style training. It's stop and start, and it kicks your ass.
With both legs.
Yes, both. Pachanga, boom, over the fence. And she did it. She did like one round. There were 3 rounds. She did 1 round, and it got her. So she was chilling out by the fan with a wet towel over her head and just relaxing. We just told her just to relax. She came in. She did another 2 stations, I think, and then she was done. And she was walking out, and I said, "Kelly, you okay? You sure you're okay to drive?" And she like looked at me and started walking like the opposite way. She says, "Yeah, I'm fine." So I said, "Are you sure?" So I sat her down for a little while longer, and she got up, and And she came in out of the blue this morning, and she said to me, "You thought I wasn't going to show up again, didn't you?" Bang! She was ready to rock and roll. And I mean, that's it. She's 65.
I love that, Cal. Keep going. Never ever give up, because it's so inspiring.
But that's the thing. We got a family type atmosphere there. You're not there's people that are in shape. There's people that are very out of shape. There's people who never exercised before, and we're all in it together. And that's the feeling that you get. You don't. Some gyms you walk into, whatever, and you'll feel a little intimidated. There's no intimidation at F45. We are a gym. It's the reason why we made it available to everyone. If you're 12 years old, you can come work out there. If you're 80, you can come work out there. It's an exercise group for everybody. We push you according to your ability and where you want to go. So, yeah, sure. You may not have ever done a pull-up like Samantha in your life, okay?
I might not be able to.
So we're going to have you hang on the bar and just go up 2 inches, go back down,
Okay.
up 2 inches, go back down. It's getting you in the mode. It's getting your breathing right. It's getting all those things right. So eventually, in a few months' time, when you're kicking ass, you'll look back and go, psh. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm so much stronger. I'm so much stronger.
Yes.
I teach Zumba
I
a
love
couple
it.
of days a week, okay?
Zumba's great.
It's so fun, and usually right before this program, so I have
Yes.
like 2 seconds to get ready and zoom in here. And I this is a week off that we have.
Zoom in here?
I
I like
zoom
that.
in here from Zumba.
Zumba.
And I love it because it's empowering to the people that I work. And we have people in this class, my students, they don't miss. They don't miss.
Yeah, they don't miss. They
don't miss.
That's it. They're there. They're with you. It's the same. You're doing the same thing. It's a group exercise thing. Where our gym differs from like a Zumba is that you're going to do the most amount of exercise for the most amount coverage of your body in the best amount of time. So
45 minutes doesn't
that's it.
sound as bad as an hour.
Yeah.
You won't get bored because you're going to do different things.
Every single day is different.
And so here's the thing that I'm having a difficult time with. Now, I've had a personal trainer for
Yes.
many years. I love you, Steve Bowe. Thank you so much
Yes.
for getting me through so much, and like best friend ever that
Yes.
I can, of course, always bag on. I love that about him.
Love it.
But usually I'm the brunt of most of the jokes around there. But
Okay.
just people like that really get you through. And so I've done the rigorous training and the sweating and the hard work, and you're leaving with your legs shaking, and
Yes.
you don't know if you can really drive home.
Yes.
But I've seen also results, and that pressure and that push, and the other thing that the survivor member,
Lady.
her name is Cloud, Dr.
Yes.
Cloud Scott.
Oh, I love
Scout
that.
Cloud.
Dr. Cloud?
Yeah, Dr.
What a name.
I'll make sure that I have it right. But yeah, she
beautiful.
She's like, you need to push. You need to persist,
Yes.
and you need to nail it.
Yes.
You need to win.
Yes.
And that concept, that thought, it's not really something that we see every day. Do
No.
we see that every
No,
day?
I don't think we see it at all.
How do you flip to that thought process?
That mode?
Yeah, like you
Well-
gotta win this, nail it.
Again, I think it's down to motivating and inspiring. There's a lot of people, if you're doing, like I said, if you're doing, let's say you did 10 repetitions and the last 3 you're just unable to do.
You're a
You know,
marshmallow, can't Jello.
Yeah, we can come in there and we'll help you bring it up. We'll show you that it's possible, in the best way possible. So and that's the most important time. That last 25% of a set, a great inspiration for me and a great person to watch is motivational talks is Arnold Schwarzenegger. He says some beautiful things about pushing through that barrier, because that's where the change happens. And that's where the change happens mentally. And when you figure out you can do that, then you're pretty much on your own. You won't need any more help.
You know what? That reminds me of something. Dr. Wayne Dyer. Did Dr.
Wayne
Wayne
Dyer
Dyer die?
died. Yeah.
That is so
I love
sad.
Wayne Dyer.
I love
Oh my
Dr. Wayne
God.
Dyer too. And
Amazing.
I went to go listen to him one time, and he said, there's no wall for me. You know how when you're running and you hit the wall
Yeah.
and you're grasping?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, dude, not for me. There's no wall for me. And I love that. And I took that with me because I don't
beautiful.
want to hit a wall either.
Yeah.
But I know psychologically,
Yeah.
if you believe that you can do it and push your
Yeah.
body,
Yes.
our bodies are miraculous,
And
we
miraculous.
can do it. And maybe that is the
Yes.
thing that what people are so interested
Yes.
and addicted to the F45
Yeah,
is
exactly.
that when you do it,
it's
and
got
you
the
push
magic
your body.
sauce, which is quite hard to explain. It's just there, and it's their whole. It's what's attracted to them in terms of staff and all the people they have around the world that are doing the same thing. And that's mostly, if you look at our reviews on Facebook and stuff, it's people didn't think they were able to do it, but they've been inspired and motivated to do it. And a good example that you brought up is running a marathon. I'd never run a marathon before, and my friend Matt Volker in LA, said, "Do you want to run a marathon? The LA Marathon." So I said, "When is it?" So he said, "It's next week." So I always do like the short distance. I'll do like 6 miles, 10
I knew
Ks.
you were going to do it.
Yeah, so I just did it. I literally got up and did it. And the funny thing about barriers, 100%, when you're on mile, what is it? It's 42 Ks on 26 miles. So when you're on mile 18, you feel like you're going to hit a wall, literally, like boom,
But you're
smash.
almost there.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, and that's the human spirit, and that's where the unlimited capability of what we are able to execute and perform comes in, because the fastest time I ran was from like 18 to 24. The reason I stopped in 24 is because I got a major, I had shin splint or whatever. So, but the will to get to the end was just ferocious. So in essence, that build up and that distance, although I'd never run it before, and it's for anyone, it's like 26 miles is a long way, especially if you haven't never run that far, or even half that. But it was quite astounding to me. Like at 18, I just went like double speed. It just came and just boom, you want to do it.
So you choose to break through.
Choose
It's
to break
mind
through.
over matter. Something that I tell my clients all the time is never, 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 never give up. And
Never.
the motivation for me to do this challenge, we're going to take a small break and we're going to talk about the challenge.
Yes, let's talk about
that
it.
we have for 9 weeks.
9 weeks,
And
correct.
I need some people to do this with me. I can't do it alone. I won't do it alone. I
We'll-
could,
we'll be
but I
there.
don't want to.
We'll be there with you.
Do it with me, okay?
Damn.
It's the thrill of the fight, rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night, and he's watching us all with the eye of the tiger.
I need people to do this challenge with me. I'm Holly Davis. You're listening to Good Medicine. And Mark Hewlett is my special guest today. It's been awesome hanging
¿Cómo
out with
está?
you two. I
You
felt
too.
really good, especially after having a little bit of an interesting morning. It feels
yes.
really good. And also, the reason why I want to do this challenge is because I want to feel comfortable in my body.
Good.
I've had 5 children.
Good.
I'm a little more seasoned adult, and
Yes.
I want to just be comfortable like I was back in the day and didn't have body conscious issues or
Yes.
anything like that. I just exercised because I loved to exercise,
Yes.
and I've done pretty much everything. I've done Zumba, boxing, the steps. I mean, everything, yoga, which I really love. So I kind of have slowed down a little. I don't need the intensity
Yeah, sure.
and the sweating and the. However, I know that the results are amazing, and to just get that push to feel really good in my skin, and to be able to inspire other people, other women especially who've had children, who don't feel very comfortable in their skin, who are pushing the middle age and the doubts that come in.
Yes.
And if you're empowered and you're standing strong and standing tall and feeling good, people are going to see that, they're going to know that, and you're going to feel good, and your life is going to emulate that. That's my belief.
100%. It goes out when you're feeling good about yourself. That's what you're going to attract in is goodness, and people
Yeah.
around you. And like you said before, before we started the show, it's like no negativity. You got to be positive. And to be your most positive, you want to feel good about yourself. How do you feel good about yourself? Doesn't matter if you got an ectomorph, mesomorph, what type of body type you are. If you're strong and you've got muscle, you're going to feel good about yourself.
So, but what if there's a propensity for obesity in your family?
Okay, good point. Currently we have a gentleman who's brought that up. He's lost 10 pounds so far, being at the gym, and already I can see since the day he walked in. The day he walked in, he couldn't even complete one set without going to the bathroom, and had very trouble breathing. And now he's going through the whole workout. So it's like, if what's very important is we got another girl that lost 300 pounds, not with us. We're going to lose her last 35. She was 400 pounds. She's 185 right now.
That's great.
And she wants to get down to 135. So
Go,
we're gonna
girl.
probably lose 50. But I mean, look at her. She took her 3 years to lose that. Especially if you got that gene, or if you've got that thing where propensity to hold weight is there. It's a slow process. Even in the beginning, even me, like when I left school, I mean, I've always been physically active, but after school for 2 years, I was running around Europe. being a wild man, and I didn't really take care of my body, in terms of that. And I promised to God, it was one day I was in the bath and I reached up to get the soap, and I felt this like spirit tire, around my stomach, and I was like,
mine.
yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, I literally got up and I said, okay, that's it. I'm
No
back in.
more.
But what the interesting thing about when you transform your body, let's say you got a lot of body fat, when you're transitioning that body fat into muscle, it takes a little bit of time. It's like it's an accelerated effect. So it'll take a little bit. It'll take time. You'll see a little bit of change, a little bit of change, a little bit of change. Your weight will probably stay the same because muscle's heavier. So as you convert, you're staying the same.
So don't get discouraged.
Yes, but it's a snowball effect. The quicker that happens, the more you transfer to muscle, the quicker your body will start to change.
That's awesome.
It's like going uphill. You're going uphill. When you reach the top and start down the downhill, you'll be amazed at how quickly it actually starts to happen.
Your jeans will start fitting differently.
Everything.
You'll feel better, you'll look better, and it's, the other thing is that you'll inspire other people, and it's mind over matter, and you can also break cycles in your family. And I believe that on a therapeutic, spiritual, physical, mental level, you can break cycles. So even if you have a propensity for whatever it is,
Yes.
you can overcome that. So
100%.
I've already taken my before and after pictures. I have to take more, and that's
Yes.
fine. I'm willing to do that because I know that's the
Good.
beginning.
Yes.
I'm going to work out 6 days a week.
6.
6 days a week,
I'll hold you
45
accountable
minutes.
for that. I'll be texting you if you're not there.
45 minutes, and then I also do cardiovascular with the Zoom as well.
Perfect.
So I want to challenge those people who are out there who just want to do it for themselves, who just want to break cycles, who just want to do that sweating, that fear factor, that survivor, and break through molds and find out what it's like to be almost like superhuman, to show that you have strength in your body that you never knew.
Yes.
You don't have to be looking at the people on television, Fear
No.
Factor and Survivor,
No.
and go, wow, that's so awesome that you made
Yeah.
yourself do that.
You can do it yourself.
You can do it yourself.
100%.
So I want you guys to call Mark Hewlett.
Yes.
His number is 702-518-3332. Tell him that you want to take the challenge with me. And I'd like, at least 5 people to do the challenge with me. I mean, if we could get 50, it would even be better.
Love
5
it.
people to do the challenge with me. And I also have 5 friends that are doing it with me from
Perfect.
afar. So we're gonna show before and after pictures.
Perfect.
Bathing suit. We're going to show before and after pictures
Yes.
and the health results.
Yes.
And just the mental and emotional results.
Perfect.
On good medicine. And Mark
Yeah.
will come back with us in a few weeks
Yes.
to explain what went on and how we went about
Yes.
with the challenge, the F45 challenge, F45 training. Please call Mark.
Yes.
One more time, the number is 702-518-3332. I'm Holly
Yes.
Davis, and if you need to make an appointment with me, my number is 702-626-9400. And if there's cycles in your life that you want to break, call me. Call me. Let's talk about it.
Oh, just one quick thing. Yeah, guys out there, if you want to go check out, go to f45training.com/Summerland. That's the Las Vegas location. And also, if you want to find out about the challenge, it's all free. It's got a full menu board of all the food you got to eat, all the points you got to gain for doing your exercise, drink your water. It's F45, F for Frank, 45 the numbers, challenge.com.
Do
Thanks,
it.
guys. Thanks for having me on.